Now this isn't your typical pull-up video. You see, when I first started, I couldn't do a single clean pull-up. So I figured I just needed to try harder and practice more. But all that did was mess up my shoulder and leave me stuck with zero progress. It wasn't until I switched up my approach that things finally started clicking. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what changed and how I'd learn pull-ups from scratch if I had to do it all over again. But before I break down what actually worked, here's why pull-ups are one of the smartest goals you can set in the first place. First off, shoulder health. There's actually some really interesting research showing that hanging and pulling can restore shoulder function given that you do it right. Then there's grip and back strength. Pull-ups light up the fingers, forearms, lats, mid-back, and even your core. It's one of the best full upper body moves you can do, hands down. And finally, well, I just think it's a cool skill to have. There's something super satisfying about being able to lift your own body. I've always just kind of thought that was the ultimate test of strength. Alright, so here's the plan. Whether you're starting from zero or you've been stuck at 1 or 2 pull-ups forever, this is the exact 3-step progression I wish I had when I started. It's safe, simple, and most importantly, it actually works. Step 1, dead hang plus scapular retractions. So step 1 is all about building the foundation. And here's something I wish someone would have told me earlier. You see, I used to think it was all in the biceps, so I just kind of try to yank myself up using pure arm strength. But that not only made things 10 times harder, but it also wrecked my shoulders. Even though it might look like an arm exercise, the pull-up is actually a back dominant move. So the very first thing I did was learn to activate my upper back properly. So start by just hanging from the bar 15 to 20 seconds at first, then try to build up to 45 seconds and all the way to a minute. This builds grip strength and helps your shoulders get used to supporting your body weight. After this, add scapular pull-ups. So from the same hang, shrug your shoulder blades down and back. The aim here is to feel like your upper back activates and your shoulders feel way more stable. Now a last tip here is if you've had shoulder pain before, like I did, consider starting with a chin-up grip instead of overhand. This reduces the internal rotation, which is less demanding on your shoulders, and trust me, that's gonna make a huge difference in the long run. Step 2, chin-up holds. So once I had the base down, which honestly only took a week or 2, I moved on to building more strength. But I didn't go straight into pull-ups. That's actually the trap that messed me up the first time. Instead, I started with 90-degree chin-up holds. I jump up to the top of the bar, lower myself halfway, then hold that position for 5 to 10 seconds. Then drop down, rest, and repeat 5 times. Now you might be wondering, why chin-ups instead of traditional pull-ups? Well, here's why I made that switch and why I'd recommend that to anyone who's starting out. Firstly, chin-ups are just easier to learn at this stage. Your arms are in a stronger position and this gives you a better angle to actually hold the movement. And the second is, which I briefly mentioned earlier, it puts less stress on your shoulders, especially internal rotation. But more than that, and this actually surprised me, I actually felt chin-ups way more in my back than regular pull-ups. For the first time, I could feel my lats switch on, upper back bracing, and core engaging, all which are prime movers of the pull-up. So if you are struggling to feel your back when doing pull-ups, I recommend trying chin-ups first. Number 3, negatives. You see, here's what I didn't realize at first. Your muscles develop more during the eccentric phase, which is the lowering phase, compared to the actual pull, called the concentric. So once I started incorporating slow negative pull-ups, really fighting gravity on the way down, that's when I actually started getting stronger fast. So I kept working this phase consistently, just focusing on control and form. And once I could do 5 clean reps with a solid 4-second descent, that's when everything started coming together. But just before you move on to the full pull-up, let me give you 2 form tips I wish I knew sooner. These made a huge difference for me, and I genuinely think they'll save you weeks of frustration. So tip 1, think up and around. When I first started doing pull-ups, I kept trying to pull straight up. I'd shrug my shoulders, straighten my back, and the movement just felt very hard. But once I started thinking up and around the bar, that's when my core started bracing and my elbows started to naturally drive down and around my ribs. This cue instantly made the pull-up feel smoother and added way more reps. Tip 2, over grip. Now I used to slip constantly, especially towards the end of a set. At first I just thought I had weak grip strength, but I wasn't gripping the bar right. What changed was learning to actively wrap my fingers over the bar, not level with it. This gave me more control, took pressure off my wrists, and made the whole pull-up feel more locked in. It's a small change, but it really makes a huge difference, especially when building volume. So let's say you followed all the steps and now you can do 1, 2, maybe 3 clean pull-ups. So what now? Well, the biggest mistake I made was trying to max out in every session. That will burn you out fast, and you usually just end in plateaus or joint pain. Instead, here's what I would recommend and what worked for me. Pick a number you can hit with good form. Say that's 2 or 3 reps. Then do that for 3 sets with full rest of 1 to 2 minutes in between. Aim to repeat that 2 times per week, and every week try to add 1 more rep to your first set. It's a simple rule, but just like with most things, they tend to be a marathon, not a sprint. So if you're stuck at 0 or you've been chasing your first pull-up forever, don't give up. This method fixed everything for me, and I'm positive it will aid you too. Alright, good luck training, take care, and I'll catch you next time.